across Leinster on DAB+. That was Seal right here on Freedom FM. And before Crazy, you had Greg keeping you company, who's been on the old telex machine to say that he's going to be back with you next Monday at 8 p.m. But for now, it's just you, me, and a few hours of pure late-night magic. Evening, how are we all doing tonight? Whether you're working the late shift, unwinding after a long day, or just keeping the night rolling, I am glad to have you along. My name is Feargal, and this is The Night Cruise, where I bring you the best soothing, romantic, and chill tunes from both the 90s and, of course, the noughties. Think songs that stir up those soft focus memories, first dances, long drives, and maybe, just maybe, a little bit of mischief in places like the Playhouse, Hollywood Nights, or even Tamangos. Now, as well as the music, there are a few other things that we will get to. After midnight, I'm going to test your musical know-how with our triple threat game. But before that, the talk will be all about Tuesday shifting, and I will tell you about that in a bit. And to get involved, and of course there's no reason why you shouldn't, you'll need to save 086 206 8888. That's 086 206 8888 into your WhatsApp, and then of course send me a message. If you want to email me, you can do that on hello@freedomfm.ie. And if you fancy wandering the social media streets with me, I'm voice actor Fergs on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and of course says.us. Right, with all that said, shall we get this show rolling? The playlist is locked in, the games are ready, so let's kick everything off in 3, 2, 1. You know, that's one of those songs where the cover did a bit better when Garth Brooks released it in 2006. That, however, is Faith Hill's 1996 original of Love Will Always Win on the Night Cruise right here on Freedom FM. Now, what time is it? Let me have a look. It's about 24 minutes past 11, which means it's time to get some Tuesday shifting on. Now, if you're new here, welcome along, and you might be wondering to yourself, what is this Tuesday shifting malarkey? Well, it's the part of the night where we take a pause to give a nod to the late shifters, the late workers, the unsung heroes keeping the world ticking while most of us have our feet up. So, whether you're keeping watch over something, toiling away in a factory, or navigating the roads this evening, we don't want to let your work go unnoticed. Work is work, and we will always honour it right here on the Night Cruise. So if you are at work, then drop me a WhatsApp to 086 206 8888. That's 086 206 8888, and tell us who you are, where you're making things happen, who your work companions are, the task at hand, and what's keeping your spirits high through the night. 086 206 8888. That's 086 206 8888 via text or WhatsApp, so we can cozy up and share a moment as we slip into the back seat and enjoy a quick shift together. Across Leinster on DAB+, and streaming worldwide at freedomfm.ie. This is The Night Cruise, and you know, I was just flipping through the big book of stuff that happened in the 90s and the noughties that we keep under the desk here in the studio, and I was paying particular attention to December 1997, and I can tell you that was some month of the movies. Titanic was still there after about half a year, breaking records and breaking hearts. Tomorrow Never Dies saw our very own Pierce Brosnan suiting up as James Bond, while the Full Monty had the lads shedding their suits and inhibitions and pretty much everything else along the way. As for the music, well, Robbie Williams was making a bid for the Christmas #1 with Angels, the anthem that would go on to soundtrack thousands of karaoke nights. Britney, and sometimes the number 5 back in April 1999 on Freedom FM's Night Cruise, where it's time now to check in with our night shifters. You know, those of us at work, keeping the world moving while the rest of us have our feet up. And first up this evening, it's Yasmin Gelly in Galway, holding down the fort at a Centra in the town centre. Yasmin says she's currently doing a stock take along with some colleagues, and it's the music on the cruise that's getting her through her shift. Well, thank you for reaching out, Yasmin. I hope the night stays nice and quiet for you. Next up, let's move down to Munster, where Gillian Reese is the night manager at a hotel near Milford, and she's on shift until 7 a.m. Right now, she's prepping paperwork for early checkouts before heading off to do her fire check walk. Gillian says it's the people she meets and the atmosphere of the hotel that keep her going. Well, here's hoping for a very uneventful fire check walk, Gillian, and thank you for reaching out. Now, there is one more round of Tuesday shifting still to come, so if you are grinding your way through the late shift, then get in touch and let me know what you're up to. Send me a WhatsApp on 086268888. That's 086268888. Let us know who you are, where you're working, and what's getting you through your night shift. It's the Night Cruise on Freedom FM, where we've got one more song to go before we cross over into the witching hour and step into Tuesday morning. But before we do, I've got just enough time to squeeze in one final round of Tuesday shifting. You know, the part of the night where we give a shout out to everyone putting in the hard grafted work. So let's kick things off with Adam Leonard, who's on shift over at Bewley's in Dublin, keeping the tea and coffee flowing in the warehouse overnight. Adam says it's his colleagues, the job, and tuning into Freedom FM on his breaks that keeps him going. Adam, real question, do you ever get a chance to sneak home a bag of the good stuff? Anyway, finally for now, let's head off to Dublin Airport, where Guy Cunningham is one of those people we all encounter at security. You know, the one making us take off our belts and shoes. Anyway, Guy's on a quick break from a 12-hour shift, and he says that it's the job that keeps him going, but he could definitely do without those 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. start times. I have to say, that is a shift pattern designed by someone with a twisted sense of humour. Anyway, here's hoping that the rest of the night and the morning is smooth for you, and thank you for reaching out. And that, my friends, wraps up this week's Tuesday Shifting. I want to give a huge thanks to everyone who reached out, and if I didn't read your message on air, I am sorry. But remember, there is always next week. So if you are clocking in on Tuesday night, you know what to do. Get in touch just after 11 and we will do this all over again. But don't go anywhere, because in the next hour, we're going to put your musical knowledge to the test with our triple threat game.